Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and I am working on with the official father of the Digital Asset Investor channel on trying to get him some tickets to XRP Las Vegas, the Future of Digital Assets benefit dinner. This is the one. Let me see who all they have. Still, it's Brad Garlinghouse, John Deaton, Michael Arrington, Chris Giancarlo, and Eleanor Terrett. And so I look forward to being there myself, and I was talking to Dad yesterday about getting him some. Now, one thing that I like to do in the lead up to going to Las Vegas, I've been looking through some of the different things going on. This Sphere experience is going to be going on there. I mean, of course, they're doing that all the time, but I looked up May, like the time when the conference is, just to see some of the things going on. The Sphere experience, I haven't been inside of the thing. I've seen it live, driving down the road, but I haven't been in the thing yet. I might want to try that. I don't know how much time I'm going to have. We got David Copperfield. There's a lot of different stuff. I didn't see anything. There's Carrot Top. He's been there, I think, for the last 50 years. And then you got, let's see. I'm trying to see if anybody jumps out at me. I watch the Jersey Shore, and Vinny from the Jersey Shore does the Chippendales thing, but I know he was doing it in Atlantic City, but I don't know if he does it in Vegas. I think he used to. Yes, I do watch the Jersey Shore. I watched it from the very beginning, by the way. My wife and I still watch it. XRP, the eGrag Crypto, is looking at a $2 XRP. Now $2 stands at the next gateway to Valhalla, whatever that means. Hey, I just show you what the chart guys say. I don't know anything about how all this works, and I'm at peace with that. But I hope he does see something. I hope he is right. U.S. government transfers $932 million worth of Bitcoin seized from the Bitfinex hack to unknown address. Does anybody understand what's going on with all these Bitcoin ETFs? Bitcoin is completely and utterly controlled by the U.S. government now, folks. Through the ETFs, through all the seizures they've done, they control Bitcoin. That was the whole point. The only question is whether, I have to believe that the way they've done this is that the ETFs were for the purpose of gaining control over it. And I think for that reason, I think they'll let it live. But the fact that they know who the 4 Satoshis are will always give me that little sinking feeling that what are these guys up to? Because we know they're lying about knowing who Satoshi is. But I've owned my 1.5 Bitcoin in my IRA. I continue to own it so far. This is what I meant to show you in the last video. Tim Buckley, the CEO of the $7.2 trillion asset manager Vanguard, has stepped down. Last month, Vanguard banned all Bitcoin ETFs from their platform. You have to wonder if the Vanguard board got pissed off at him for that decision. Check this out. Smitty. This came out of nowhere. I don't know what this is about, but it's interesting, so I was going to show it to you. I have officially exited the BSV blockchain. Now, I don't have anything to do with BSV. I just wanted to show you this. The BSV blockchain community. My IP intellectual property has been compromised, converted. I will not sit by while everything I've worked for my entire life is stolen by greed and forgery. I'm taking legal action now, and I will name parties shortly. I'm not sure what that's all about. But look, meanwhile, look what the adults in the room are up to. This is William Lorenz Digital Euro Conference. Look what we have here. Who are the use case WG? Active participants, Ripple, there's Quant, even Electronium. But the adults are there in Frankfurt, same place that the German guy we were showing earlier in the week is. And they are working on adult things. And here's more adults. Look, this from Ripple's Government Relations and Public Policy. This guy right here. Let's see what he looks like, because I didn't know which one he was. His name is Sam Dreiman. See which one he is. Sam has got to be, I don't know which one he is. Maybe that's him. All right. But anyway, they're in D.C. on Capitol Hill, and they're talking to people in Congress, lobbying. Speaking of people in Congress and in government, here is Hester Pierce. She was at ETHDenver. Imagine that. I've never seen Hester come to a Ripple conference. Why doesn't she come to XRP Las Vegas? Oh, let me guess. Well, because there's a pending lawsuit. This is crazy, folks. U.S. Securities Exchange Commissioner Hester Pierce said during ETHDenver that the agency is in enforcement-only mode when it comes to crypto, underscoring the uphill battle the industry faces against a litigious SEC. She goes to ETHDenver. Here she is. She always acts like she's uncomfortable with it, but she knows where all the bodies are buried and hasn't been willing to whistleblow on the obvious corruption.
As, the friendliest and staunchest ally of the crypto community when it comes to U.S. regulators. And I will say this, I feel like in this room, the SEC is enemy number one. And I think that people feel like you are the exception to the rule. I don't know how lonely it feels over at the SEC for you. But my question is, it's historically been this tenuous relationship between the agency and the crypto ecosystem. To you, where does that relationship stand today? Is it still pretty tense, or do you think it's getting better? Like, how is the SEC doing in terms of its relationship to the sector?
Well, let me start by giving you my disclaimer, which is that my views are my own views as a commissioner, not necessarily those of the SEC or my fellow commissioners. It's fractured. It's definitely fractured, and it's sitting inside the SEC. It's very frustrating for me to see that, because I don't think it has to be that way.
Okay, let me see here. I'm not going to do it right now, but I am going to tell Brad Combs that why not invite her to XRP Las Vegas? If she can go to ETHDenver, she can come to XRP Las Vegas. I'll word that in. Don't worry, I'll word that in a tweet here shortly. Wanted to show you this. I don't know what these guys are thinking. It's this Ito Farina guy, and it's the guys from drawing a blank, Black Swan Capitalist. I like these guys. I don't know what they're thinking, but they're going into the crypto police danger zone here by talking about some of this stuff. And I'm just going to show you some of it. I'm taking a pretty large risk here covering any of this. The crypto police on Friday are sometimes active, but we're going to show it anyway, or at least show part of it.
Which is going to be the Escrow release. There has been a lot of noise this week involving the Escrow release. That has been actually, if I'm not mistaken, it was supposed to be 200 million XRP that supposedly was being released from the Escrow. So how do you actually see that, Sam?
First of all, I love how you said the Escrow noise, because that's what it is. Noise. It's always fucking noise. From this, it's crazy. I've never seen more noise in the XRP community than ever, but let's talk about it then. Okay, so first of all, I think it's important to acknowledge what is the XRP escrow first, right? The XRP escrow, many people are not aware, it is a mechanism implemented by Ripple, the company behind XRP, to manage the supply of XRP tokens. So in simple terms, basically the escrow works by locking up large amounts of XRP through smart contracts, with a portion of it being released at regular intervals over a predetermined period of time. And let's explain why Ripple strategically does this. And I say strategically because it is done strategically, and I'll explain that in a second. They release it strategically, contrary to the misconception what other people say, and I've seen so many comments already on this from my Twitter, that it's aiming to flood the market and reduce the price, which is not true. Firstly, by releasing XRP from escrow, Ripple is able to ensure the steady and predictable supply of XRP tokens, which is designed to foster more liquidity in the market. And because liquidity refers to the ease which an asset can be bought or sold without significantly impacting its price. So by maintaining liquidity, Ripple is able to facilitate the smooth functioning of the XRP ecosystem. And that makes it more attractive to investors, traders, and potential partnerships. And that's what this is all about. Second thing to look at is releasing XRP from Escrow enables Ripple to distribute XRP tokens to various exchanges and institutions, thereby increasing accessibility to the cryptocurrency.
This guy's talking way too much adult talk. The crypto police, he's not promoting any of the Mickey Mouse tokens that the crypto police are out there promoting. He's sticking with XRP. This is breaking the rules left and right. You can't do that. You've got to be talking about all kinds of Mickey Mouse tokens, all of which have no legal clarity, by the way.
And that is the broader narrative, because it makes the broader availability of XRP and it encourages more exchanges to list the token, which then in turn expands its reach and utility, which is the goal here. So it's just essential to emphasize the macro perspective of the escrow in understanding why Ripple's actions are the way they are regarding XRP and releasing it, instead of focusing solely on the short-term market movements and price fluctuations like everybody else. And that's what he's talking about, the noise, Again, the larger goal of Ripple is to establish XRP as a versatile and widely accepted digital asset as a real-world utility. And that's exactly what the escrow is doing there, the release of XRP tokens. So that's the overall view. So
I love this guy. This guy's smart. This is way too much adult. I'm really nervous for him.
Everything else is noise. I've seen all the tweets this morning, and I'm like, oh my God, here we go again.
Yeah, and there's so much noise. They sometimes go around discussing topics that they have absolutely no sense, and they just go around this topic that has no sense. Just like the same thing they say, what if David Schwartz said that they will burn the escrow, which is something that will never happen in the first place. I mean, the escrow is there for an essential reason. You don't.
On burning the escrow, by the way, I was standing there in Singapore when David Schwartz was like, because the Stellar that was burned by Stellar, the XLM that was burned by Stellar, happened while we were in Singapore in 2019, standing there with David Schwartz, and he did not understand why in the world that Stellar had burned those XLM. He didn't get it at all.
Same thing happening to other assets. There is a very important reason why there is around 50 billion XRP on escrow. It's literally half of the supply. This is just my personal speculation. I cannot really provide with any proofs of what I'm going to say, but it's just my personal speculation. Don't take that as facts. But just think for a second, if the XRP that's actually escrowed already belongs to someone, well, for sure it belongs to Ripple, and that makes it impossible for anyone else to burn the escrow. It's just like you're going to burn someone else's wealth, which that's exactly what it is. That's why the theory that the escrow can be burned will never happen. Even if the validators come together and try to burn the escrow, Ripple would never accept that, and they have no way to actually go ahead. XRP would become a fork, just like Bitcoin Cash. So forget about burning the escrow. But let's make my point here. If some key institutions like the IMF or the Bank of International Settlements have purchased substantial portions of the escrow back in 2020, 2019.
Now he's talking. That sounds an awful lot like pre-allocation. On this Friday, these guys are playing with fire. The crypto police could come out of nowhere for these guys.
Also brings us to the conclusion that XRP was always meant to be a world reserve currency.
No,
and that
they're invoking world reserve currency.
I'm not saying that's
the same thing that the German guy said on the floor of the Frankfurt Stock Exchange. You can't call XRP a potential world reserve currency.
If that actually makes XRP a world reserve currency as per the definition,
don't do it
in substantial amounts by central banks. Who else better than the Bank of International Settlements, which is the central bank of central banks?
Yeah, and I think people ask a lot of the wrong questions sometimes. You could see that a lot, especially when I'm reading the comments. I'm looking at the questions. People are asking the wrong questions, and they're trying to further complicate something that is not that complicated to understand. And again, the rest of it, a lot of it is just noise. So you don't have to pay attention to all of it.
I just have a feeling sometimes that all the action is happening here and everybody's looking on the wrong direction. We're just making discussions out of matters that shouldn't be discussed at all. I saw people spending weeks discussing if the escrow will be burned. I mean, there you have your answer.
Okay. We're going to go into DAIXRP.com, and I am not I'm not exaggerating when I tell you what I'm going to show you in DAIXRP.com today. I think it might be one of the most interesting things that I have seen in all of my investing life. And I'm going to show it to you. And I think it could be one of the most, for myself, it could be one of the most profitable things that I've ever seen as a tool to help me in investing. And I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. And it's not really about crypto. It could be. Maybe somebody will create the same thing for crypto, but I haven't looked at it enough to see if they even cover crypto or if they can cover crypto. I don't even know, but maybe they will. Who knows? This thing is so cool that I'd like to see if I could get them as a sponsor. It's so freaking cool, and I'm going to show you in the group. It's wild. Okay, here it's really, really cool. All right, and I'm also going to show you. This is Women's Something Month, but I'll show you that in a minute because I wanted to ask Elizabeth Warren, and I did ask her in a tweet. Well, I think I can show you that part. This before we go. She says we kick off Women's History Month, celebrating trailblazing women who've dedicated their lives to building a fairer and more just world. So what I did was I went and found the screenshot of the Epstein victims, and I asked a simple, or make a simple comment here. Hey, Senator Warren, you've never once even acknowledged, much less lifted a finger to help these women victims. Maybe John Deaton, who's running for Senate, will ask you why you have not. Donate to johndeatonforsenate.com. I mean, this woman is she's the biggest hypocrite I've ever seen in my entire life. She doesn't give a rip about any of these issues that she claims to care about. If she did, she would have these women on stage demanding to find out who has harmed them. But that's not the thing. Her religion is her party. It's not women. It's not any of the issues she supposedly cares about. Her religion is her party. Anything for the party, that's her religion. She doesn't give a. If she cared about women's victims, then where was she? You'd see her publicly denouncing Bill Clinton, for instance. Well, I'm not supposed to say that out here. I mean, come on. All right, we're going to go in DAIXRP.com, and I'm going to show you something wild. Okay, and this little thing right here could help us all. I mean, I was like, whoa, that's cool. Okay, anyway, I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and tell your friends and family. Here we go, DAIXRP.com.